It's another Saturday morning. Much obliged to have you join us on our flagship political discussion program, Politics Today, reaching you live on the ITV Radio Network. I'm Sonny Duke, of course, your host on the program. In today's show, we'll look at the issue of vandalism of billboards that is beginning to more or less take center stage in the conversation on our countdown to EDO 2024 governorship election. I have with me in the studio the president of Network of Civil Society Organization, Comrade Engineer Emmanuel. Many thanks for coming on the program.
Thank you very much to Duke.
I also have with us here a public affairs commentator and political analyst, Comrade Harrison Ezekiel. Comrade, thank you for joining us.
Good morning, viewers. Thank you for having me.
Okay, we're saying in the last couple of days the issue of vandalism of billboards, mutilation of billboards, or the outright removal of campaign billboards at certain locations is becoming rife, and this is of great concern. Why the destruction of billboards? Those engaged in this practice, you realize that it is wrong and highly condemnable because of the socio-economic, environmental implications of this exercise. Let me go right to our panelists here. Let me begin with you, Comrade Harrison Ezekiel. Does this even make sense at all in an election where issues are supposed to dominate the conversation? This has become something that is rife in our environment. Let's start off with you.
Well, thank you very much. I think it's worrisome. I believe that people should begin to do things that are meaningful. This is election year, and going around thinking that breaking down other candidates' billboard or trying to destroy it will score a political gain, I do not know where the thinking is coming from. Let me say this without fear or favor. Even if you put your billboard everywhere in the street of Benin, it will not translate to vote. Where we are looking at, I know people want to look at the competence and the capacity of all these candidates, not whether your billboard is everywhere, not whether your billboard is in all over the city. That will not be able to vote for you. The people should look at the competence of the candidates. And for those who are carrying out this activity, I think it is criminal. They should be very careful, because if they are caught, they will be arrested. Okay. And some people might even lynch them, and it might even lead to death. So they should not allow themselves to be used to go and help one candidate or the other to go and destroy somebody else's billboard. The billboard is not the issue. We want to see the language of the person. We want to see what the person have to offer. Okay. We want to look at the competence of the person. Trying to use people to bring out, because it is general. Like yesterday I was coming, the one by the palace of Aswan Igodaro have been destroyed. The one by God Junction have been destroyed. But I hear some other candidates saying that it is the PDP that is doing it. It's not true. No, it's a general thing. Why I'm saying it, okay, why I'm saying it is that it's a general thing. Okay. I saw one of the Labour Party being destroyed. I just give you two instances. If you go to God Junction now, okay. That big billboard that is there, that is my area. So coming this morning, they've removed the mast and they torn it. So these guys that are doing these things, they should desist from it.
Okay, let me
forthwith. Because if not, the law will take its course if they are caught.
Let me pause it there, Comrade. We've seen, accusations and counter accusations. This one pointing accusing fingers at this one, and whether the party in power or the opposition or whatever, it looks like this is more or less something that everybody seems to be involved in. The vandalism is something that everybody is doing. I'd like to get your take on this.
Okay, thank you very much. It is not a healthy development, and it's something that must be condemned by everywhere, many Edolites. As a matter of fact, I want to quickly say that politicians can be very funny, and they have a way of bringing some antics or some very pedestrian issue to distract the electorate and the voters, and of course, Edo people as to focusing on the real issue. But let me quickly send a very strong message that at this point in time, Edo people cannot be distracted to be focusing on whose billboard is tall or not, but we are going to be focusing on what the various candidates can do for us. On this issue of billboard, let's take a little bit back history. You know, in 2011, 2012, and all of that, it used to be a very worst issue in our state. Where then, you know, Agbero used to have a field day in this state. Not necessarily the principal or maybe one of these candidates. They are overzealous supporters, you know, who are out there wanting to show workings by way of violence or by way of impressing their principal, their masters. Okay. In the King Square as is there, you dare not see any billboards that is not incumbent back then. But for some years, let me say, you know, 2016 down, we begin to see some level of tolerance. You can see a very healthy competition between various candidates who are coming out, and some level of regulations. We used to have a situation where the state infrastructures are defaced with what's it called, posters and billboard and all of that. I think there was a regulations to the extent that you can only mount removable billboards and all of that, even in our federal highway pavements and all of that. So I think we've had a very heady way of regulating advertisement and display and what have you. But apart from very recently, when we begin to hear these accusations and counter accusations of political individuals saying my billboard was pulled down. Now, we cannot just begin to allege that somebody pulled down your billboard, because our investigation has showed critically that you see these billboard materials, they are useful to the market women. If you go to the market, my brother, you see most of these banners. Some of them, the programs have not even been expired. You see them using it as either to cover their wares in the market. You see some persons taking it to their houses to cover their leaking roof. You see some even madmen in the streets, they'll carry banner and use it to cover themselves, and they are going. So we cannot just allege. But however, one message must be sent. Even if you can bring down the whole billboards in Edo State, there are billboards in the minds of the electorate that nobody can bring down. And those billboards are erected by how much you are able to pass your message, pass your manifesto, pass your ideas to the hearts of the electorate and the Edo people by engaging them. I'm very just now, my brother. That is why I said this is a distraction. Not very many candidates in this election we have seen crisscrossing the nooks and crannies of Edo State, engaging Edo people, apart from very few, going there to erect billboard in their heart. The billboards in the streets can be brought down, can be dismantled, but you cannot remove the billboard in the heart of Edo people. That is what we form in their subconscious, even to the extent that they will go to thumbprint that day. So let's focus on erecting the billboards in the heart of your electorate than looking at the billboards that is everywhere. That might not necessarily translate into election or what have you. Yeah. But let it not be a tool to distract the Edo people that my billboard is brought down by Mr. A, this billboard is brought down by Mr. B. No tangible evidence to push that narrative.
Let me, you know, what I think that has really come out clearly is the candidates, the political parties accusing themselves of being responsible, the other saying, when it first came out, what would be tempting to look at it from a particular prism, that this is coming from this particular source. But if you go around, it looks like it's generic in the sense that you see this as a major challenge. What do you make of these candidates accusing one another, political parties accusing one another?
Well, I think it's the intimidation of maybe the perceive of one of the major candidates, and the gap between them and the rest is very wide. And they are looking for attention to just bring the issues that are not necessary, so that people now begin to remove the attention from the issue and begin to look at substance that does not make any brain. Okay. For example, like I said before, in local government, in the local government, there are some areas, designated area, that you cannot put a billboard. You can't just wake up in the morning because you're running for election. You just go and put a billboard without authorization. Okay. Even when I was running, My banner were removed from Airport Road. Even in my own party was removed because I didn't get permission before putting it. They have to go and do permission. So they have procedure to everything. They are crying for sympathy that my people have been dropped. That's not the issue. The issue is that Edo people want to look at the candidates. The major candidates, they want to look at where they are coming from. What have they done in the past? How can we believe these people? Do they have character? Are they competent? Are they intelligent people? Where have they worked before? Because you cannot come and tell me they are going to take Edo from this point to turn Edo to Dubai. When you cannot show me the office you have managed before as other person or as a politician. Okay. It is what you have done in the past that will make me feel that this person has the capacity to do what he's saying. So we want to look at the competence of and the character of all these candidates. Then the two people on their own will not choose who they feel will succeed Obaseki. Whether you put your banner everywhere in Benin City, whether your banner is occupying all the 3 central districts, is not an issue. Nobody is looking at that banner. Like he said, we want the banner to be the heart of the people. The people want to choose based on character. This election that we are going into is all about party. It's all about the person on the ballot. And the people are watching. You are seeing the development that is coming over the past few weeks. People are coming out, reaching out. People on their own, willingly on their own, giving support to a particular candidate. They are not looking at this party. So people are in their own program saying that this is the mark on the job. These are the kind of development we want to work on. Equity, fairness, capacity. Who is this person? So in the coming days, we are going to see more. Because people have sat down to look at. Edo is not a place where you just allow anybody to come and sit in the corridor of power. Okay. You cannot drag us back. Okay. So the people want to move forward. In moving forward, they want to on their own choose who will govern them. Right, let me and in choosing this, it must be based on capacity and competence.
All right, now, so are we saying here that this conversation around removal of billboards, destruction of billboards, mutilation of billboard is a distraction for this election? Rather, the focus for the electorate should be on the message from the political party. Let me get you on that.
Yes, I want to say it's a very huge and unnecessary distraction on one hand, and a way of whipping unnecessary sentiment that ordinarily does not count when it comes to issues of election. Let us not, if you come out and you see your billboard is being destroyed for one or two reasons, sit down to do a very critical analysis and investigation. If you cannot get, a very cogent fact as to what the issues are, perhaps erect your billboard and maybe mount up a surveillance around your billboard because now it's part of your electoral properties. And beyond that, we've also seen situations where advertising agencies are complaining of very huge and humongous debts and unauthorized actions by some of our political class. It is unhealthy. Every advertising agent needs to make their money, pay their staff, and all of that. If you erect your billboards on an advertising in a platform, and it is due for you to pay your subscription. Pay your subscription, because we've had issues where authorized agency have authorized billboard to be pulled down, and some persons will come up and say it is Mr. A who have influenced the pulling down of my billboard, because politicians can be very, very funny. Immediately after this election, nobody will pay you what they are owing. So advertising agency, nobody want to take take chances. Yeah. So they want to get their money as it's hot. So now that the campaign and those billboards still makes meaning to you, they want to get their money. In short, they want to even collect in advance. So this issue of they pull down my billboard, this person pulled down my billboard, this is a distraction. And though people is not very much interested in that, what we are very interested in is, because there's no billboard that is carrying a message of your manifesto. At all. Let's start with that. There's no billboard that is carrying an idea that you want to push. The billboard that we are seeing is, hey, his own boy. Let me not use the particular, is this, is that. No. It's beyond that. Billboards is not carrying the message. What will drive the message to the nooks and crannies and to the heart, to every electorate, is engagement. critical engagement that will be able to demystify the capacity of each of these candidates, that can expose what you want to do for them, how you will do it, and when you will do it. So when you don't have anything to say and you just come on air or you just come on the media and say, my billboard in so place has been pulled down, my billboard in so place has been pulled down, I'm suspecting X, I'm suspecting Z, and you have not apprehended anybody, it is not correct. Our investigation, I've told you, not even, it is not recent. We are even having a healthy, for the first time, I can tell you that in a Edo state election, for the past 3 elections, we are having one of the most healthy advertising space, where you can see Mr. A, you will see Mr. B, you see Mr. C, all billboards are available. In the time past, you will virtually not see you an opposition party.
Okay, all right. Comrade Harrison, this conversation around billboard for me is like is being used to overheat the polity. The polity is being overheated by this conversation rather than focusing on the core issues that the people will be conscientized with to make their decision as far as this election is concerned.
You are very right, my brother. If you see one of the candidates is reaching out to different interest group, is passing the message.
No, all the candidates are doing the same thing.
Yes.
All the candidates.
We are very familiar with the one which is very visible.
That's for you.
Everybody is moving around, is reaching out, is sensitizing the people, is conscientizing them, telling them the roadmap, telling them what he wants to do, how he wants to do it, where it's coming from. And the message has been on. And you haven't seen another one who have not really started the campaign, rather trying to do a press conference and a billboard was pulled down. That should be the business of the candidate at this time?
No, I mean, if money, just a moment, if money has been invested in making those boards to be placed at strategic locations, and for whatever reasons they've been pulled down or mutilated or destroyed, it should be condemned. And that's why we're we have seen this challenge.
You start with investigation.
Yes.
You don't go to the press when you don't have any information. He who come to equity must come with clearance. When you were doing the press conference, you should be kind enough to tell those people, so and so person have been apprehended. You have not done any investigation. And you even went there with a character that is very questionable, threatening the governor, threatening everybody that they will go and do this and do that. That is not the issue. That is distraction. What we are asking is that, tell us what you want to do. If your manifesto is on paper, share it to Edo people. Let them see what you want to do. Let them see the how. Let them see the when. And let them see how this is will be.
Hello.
So let me just say some. Let me take some few calls as we gradually bring this first segment of our conversation to. Hello, caller. Good morning. What's your name?
Hello. Good morning.
Yes.
My name is Bishop.
All right, Bishop, go ahead.
Bishop Ipomosa,
Go ahead.
I've listened so much from this program, and it's very unfortunate, you understand? Because I can remember vividly somewhere around March, our candidate billboard was being destroyed around Ohoro. Towards Lagos, New Lagos Road. It was being destroyed. And we know who is doing all these things.
Yeah, but we don't allow you to make mention names here on the program. So let's just.
We don't want to mention names.
All right, go ahead.
But by the grace of God, the suffering we are going through now in Federal, may God not let us go through in states. Because the country is in a mess. We can't continue in states like that. So our billboards are being destroyed also. Nobody is talking, but we know by the grace of God, God will bring our candidate out, no matter how it will be. So this is what I really want to treat this, sir.
All right,
thank you very much.
Thank you, Bishop. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So you were saying something.
Let me say, I want to appeal to Edo people. Let us remove our attention from this issue of billboard. Let's concentrate on the ideas of these candidates. What do they have to offer? What is your program? What is your manifesto? What do you want to do for Edo people? How do you take Edo from this level Godwin Obaseki have gotten to? Lucky Benedion started. Oshomola built on it. Obaseki have done his part. In less than a few months, Obaseki will not be former governor. We want to bring him a new governor. We want to see a roadmap. We want to see the strategy. We want to see what you have on paper that you want to bring to bear, that will take Edo State from this level to another level of development. We don't want to move back. This is what Edo people is concerned about. This is what we want to hear. Whether your billboard is as big as this building, it doesn't matter to anybody. Put your picture everywhere. Where is your program? Is this program workable? I want to do this. I want to travel from here to Sokoto. Is it possible? How do you want to do it? Where the finances coming from? What have you done in the past that will make us believe that you can actually carry out these things? This is the question on the mind of Edo people. And I want to appeal to everybody that this election is all about senatorial district. It's all about the party. It's all about the individual. We want to look at the capacity of these persons. We want the competence of this person. But the character of this person.
The individuals can't be on the ballot paper.
Yes, I'm coming, sir. By the time you are assessed, you know why I'm saying it? Yes. This is where we have been missing it over the years. Okay. It is the person on the ballot that we implement these policies.
Right, let me just take
it
this
is not the political party.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yes.
My name is can you hear me?
All right.
This one that they are talking this thing. Our candidate Billboard, okay, was being destroyed at Lawani Street by New Bini Market. We know by the grace of God that we are going to win. We don't know what's true, what's going.
So you are not bothered about the Billboard destruction. You are certain that your candidate will prevail.
We win, but God is going to support us. For people to having the mind of destroying people's Billboard. This has been happening about 3 months ago.
All right, Mr. Akiyemi, thank you for your contribution. Yes.
Okay. I think everybody seems to be complaining that their billboards are being pulled down. What I want to quickly say, anybody vying for the position of the #1 seat in Edo State is coming to solve a problem. Now, I want to give every of these candidates an assignment. Tell us how to solve problems of billboard destruction. Now, you're having a personal problem now. Your billboards are being destroyed in places.
Yes.
Now, devise a means as to how you can mitigate, stop, or eradicate your own billboard destruction that will give us an IQ or an understanding that this might have a capacity of solving a problem before coming to solve Edo State problem. Okay. Because if you start telling us that you will solve Edo problem and you are crying for a problem, now you can't even solve it with your own personal problem. It is a threat to the fact that you will lack capacity to solve Edo State problem as it were. Now let's not allow all of these antics divide or divert our attention for what the business of governance should be. Because if we miss it at this stage, we are going to have a very huge problem in our midst. You know, they normally say civil society people are troublemakers. The reason is because when you have a government that is not performing, when you have a government that is not delivering dividend of democracy to the people, while we have made that mistake during the election, before election, you will have protests and protests and protests because you want to make government to listen. And they will not listen. This is the point where we get it right. We should be able to take all of these candidates through the mills. We should be able to look at their antecedent. We should be able to drill their personal capacity, character, and competence. So that when we get there tomorrow, we will not be in the streets to be saying, I don't go agree, I don't agree. We will be having government that we can engage via memo. We will be having government that we can engage via communication. And they'll be able to listen to the people. They'll be able to understand the plight of the people. That is the focus, the clear focus of Edo people. Okay. And we will not be distracted by billboards.
On a final note, what is the level of political education and maturity of the electorates in Edo State to be able to, dissect all of these issues, make informed decisions in line with the tenets of democracy, as it were? Let me start with you on the final note.
You see, Edo State is a state that is very sophisticated. And politically, our people are informed. You will see the last obedient movement. You saw what happened in this state. The 3 major senatorial districts in Edo State, you saw what happened. To the extent that even some persons who ordinarily, they can't even run for either in their street, they become senator and House of Rep member under the obedient movement to tell you how Edo people do their voting. When I hear people tell you that they will ring the election, they will say it does not happen in Edo State. Our people are very informed. They will just be watching you. At the end of the day, they will vote for the best among the candidates. So at those stage for us, our people are informed, most especially in these 3 major urban local government, where the votes are really there. We have educated people. They will come out on that day. They will assess everybody. We have gone beyond the issue of voting for party. If in those states, Labour movement were able to produce a senator as of rep member, that tells you that the people here, they know what they are doing. Okay. People were doing it because of equity, justice, and fairness. They feel that the South will be marginalized. And if the South is marginalized, which of the area? It's the Southeast. Okay. That's why our people came out to vote for Peter Obi. He won this place. So our people will come out and vote for the best among the candidates.
All right, so let me take a final word from you.
Yes. I will just quickly go into the last CVRO exercise done by INEC, which was very commendable. The network of civil society were all out to mobilize the people, sensitizing and engaging them as to the need, why they need to register. And the turnout was very massive. You will see the approach to election this time is very different. Why? Because the people are being engaged, they are sensitized, and they are all out. Everybody is feeling the pain. Everybody is feeling the bite, the heat of economic hardship. And they want to determine who can lead them, who can take them out of this trauma of economic disarray and hunger in the land. Okay. So, as to what they want to do, the people their eyes are open. Nobody want to vote political party at this time, like he said. I agree. They want to look at political persons, because it is the person in a political party that determines the side. Any political party will turn to you. Every political party will have the good, the bad, and the ugly. And if at any point in time you have a good person at the aim of affair, it turns this good part of that political party. Okay. And when we have the worst of such persons in the aims of affair in that political party, they turn the worst side to the people. And that is why you can see that many a times in the same party, one state will be performing and another state is not performing. The federal will be performing, the state is not performing. The state is performing, the federal is nothing. Okay. Why? Because of the person who is there. So we want to engage those people. Let them look at this very candidate, all these candidates. Let them look at their antecedents. Let them look at what they can do. If they are thrown in the wilderness, can they bring out something out of nothing? Who can develop and in the current state of 21st century idea, who can navigate within the economic space and all what have you to bring out solution? Not telling us that there is no money, there is no this. We are tired of complaint.
All right, thank you.
You are coming to Edo State, you are coming to solve problems.
Thank you, gentlemen. Comrade Harrison, thank you for coming. Comrade Ima Obidi, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.